Okay, so let's talk about the future of social and digital media, how it will be changing over the next couple of years, and where we think it'll be heading. To start off, I wanted to talk about what is social media exactly and where is it heading. To start off, I thought that we would go into the background of social media, where it started and what it and how it has evolved. The background of social media first started with the telegraph in 1972. It changed the speed and the way we communicated with people, like long distance wise. It sped up the process. It went from like they used horses to deliver communications, like letters and stuff, to the telegraph, which was a major thing for the era. Then we moved on to the 1800s, where the telephone and radio also increased the speed of communication and changed everything from the beginning. It was like the beginning of instant communication. It was from this time on that we have like never looked back, and we've just kept getting faster and faster and faster and new things. And um to this day, telephone and radio are huge methods that we use today in like our social media that we still use our phones for everything, our mobile devices. 1940s is when computer networks first started, and then we go into the 1960s with the internet, and 1966 with the first emails being sent. And then we move into the 1980s is when social media stepped up its game with home computers having social media. In 1988, internet started doing chat rooms, and then you move on from there to 1999 with social networks built around blogging, with the idea of getting more followers and the creation of groups that could interact with each other. That's where that all started, because we still do that today, but just in different forms. 2000s is when MySpace and LinkedIn and Friendsters all started. I'm old, so I remember when I was in high school and I was setting up my MySpace account, and I was thinking it was like the coolest thing ever, and I didn't think that there could be anything cooler. Obviously, there is. It's called Snapchat and Twitter and Instagram, and there's like way more awesome things that keep happening. It's hard to keep up with. Um, Now let's like zoom forward to today, where we currently have what I just mentioned: Instagram, Pinterest, Twitter, Snapchat, and Facebook. So this leads us to the question, where is the future of social media headed? I thought, even though I went over a timeline of briefly of where social media started and where it currently is, here is just like a graph, like an infographic timeline of how things have evolved over the years. And so we can see, now we'll move on to the future of social media. What's next? Um, what is next? Platforms are continually changing. Like people are already hooked and addicted to social media. Um, like I don't see it stopping anytime soon. Um, we keep getting more sucked into like apps, and like, I mean, we date online now. We are basically, like what my slide says, we are a visually wired world, and we are still on the path of staying that way, in my opinion. We definitely can expect to continue on the path we are on now with the evolving platforms that keep coming out. Um, we started with MySpace, and now we are on to Facebook. But even Facebook is starting to become something that is viewed as old school to the younger generation. Not to me, because I'm older generation, but to the younger generation, who want the next up and coming new app. They're always wanting new, better, different. The future of social media will be forever changing. Change and or new is the future. And the expectation or want of ever evolving apps is a continual thing in today's age. Everybody's wanting to come up with the newest thing of organizing, chatting, sharing videos. And different groups will be using like different social media apps. Like I'm in an older group, I'm 34, like I used Facebook more often, but the more friends I've been talking to and being at UVU, they're all using Instagram more, and the live feed, Instagram in particular. They're not using Facebook so much anymore, which I thought was interesting. And I think we're also moving into an age of people are, right now we started out posting images of single moments in our lives, like short bursts. And I think platforms will evolve where posting is going to be more interactive, like diary-like, involving more than just one writer, like pictures that I have, but also including friends and other people's stories and piecing them together to make our own story. Social media will turn more toward legacy building, telling your life story for others to watch later in life. Like, what do we want people to see about our lives when we're gone? I feel that's where we're moving toward when it comes to posting. This generation already is always looking for new ways and exploring the ever-evolving platforms, always looking for different ways of managing contacts, befriending people, organizing interface layouts, all of that stuff. We're always looking for better, newer, different. I mean, if you look at Facebook, it's had the same layout since the beginning. With the new platforms coming out, that won't be the case. People want change, they want new, they want better, different is the future. When Facebook and Twitter both were formed, the mobile phone wasn't what it is today, basically, and the future of platforms, even starting today, but I think going beyond today, will only be designed with mobility in mind, like mobile devices in mind. That's like the end. Everything, we need to be able to take everything with us. Future of social media continued. Here, being a visually wired culture already, it is safe to say that social and digital media will continue with this mindset into the future. Where after research and reading things and everything was saying that everything is moving toward video, and more video will be the future of social media. Video with audio or visually appealing, which is what our social media is moving toward. Live streaming has captivated us into the shift of our future being very video oriented. People are very into live content. And cameras on our phone that we're using to show the live content. We're moving into a very mobile device oriented lifestyle. I mean, we're already there, but it's just going to continue to grow. It's not going to go away. Being able to see through other people's eyes in real time is becoming a very powerful influence on social media, and it's going to continue to do that as well. People are looking more toward wanting to make social media more personal and less like immediate bursts of moments shared. They want to have their viewers really feel what they're showing on their pages and understand like who they are and feel connected that way. So the future of social media is going mobile, and it's going to stay that way. To sum it up, it's always going to be changing. I wanted to show this video of what people right now feel social media is headed.
Hi, and welcome to What's Up, guys?
Hey, everyone.
On this episode, which is the final episode of season 1, don't worry, we'll be back. We are talking about the future of social media. I know. When it comes to this ever-changing, evolving world, it's a risky business to try to predict what's going to happen next. But we are talking to the people who know this space the best to make bold predictions for the future. And maybe, just maybe, if you can get ahead of these trends, we will be profiling you next season.
I think it's an industry that started with really good intentions, but now is in a place that will probably fall out in the next 5 to 10 years, God willing.
I've tried not to make predictions since I made my first ones and they turned out to be terribly wrong back in 2008 or something. I think that it's starting to feel like it's here to stay.
I'm not sure. I don't know what the future is. I don't think anyone really does. I don't think, traditional media and cable thought that they'd be going away as quickly as they are currently. We're just going to keep making videos until people stop watching them, really.
One human year, one Earth year is like 5 YouTube years, because just so much happens so quickly. When I first started on YouTube, there was no partner program, and now all of these brands are getting on board, and influencers wasn't a word.
I did a live stream in 2007 for 6 months straight. The internet was just not good enough. So until broadband was able to really handle that and people were able to actually watch it and consume it, now's the time.
Live streaming right now is like the new thing. Everyone has Instagram, Facebook, Twitter. This app called Musical.ly has Lively.
Live broadcasting has been a huge thing recently. That was totally not even a thing before I started. Instagram, for example, didn't just sit there and say, okay, I'm going to ignore this and stick with pictures because people should be passionate about pictures. No, they added live broadcasting into their platform. Maybe there's not going to be a new platform that rises up, but there's always going to be a new thing, and each platform is evolving based on that new thing.
People will continue to create and tell stories regardless of the platform, I think. I do hope at some point, though, in the near future, I can just plug something into my head and record my dreams in movie form at night. I would be such a better filmmaker because I'd be like, hey, look what I filmed last night while I was sleeping.
There will always be Beyonce, and there will always be the band that you like that nobody's heard of. Or for a long time, that's what music has been like, but that's going to be what video's like.
So why don't you make some bold predictions of your own? Leave them in the comments below.
I've never been harassed or stalked, but I do know that it exists on both sides.
All right, so we move on from this video to the conclusion where, oops, sorry guys, that didn't work out very well. The conclusion. So with that, the future, in my opinion, of social media is obviously going to be a very mobile-driven society because everyone takes their phones everywhere. That's how we capture every moment that we do. And the common thing is change. Everything, we're in a fast-paced world. Everything is just going to be changing. Who knows what it's going to be in 2020? We never thought that MySpace would evolve into what it's evolved to now, which we don't even have MySpace whenever we have all these other apps. And I think we're already seeing this today, but even more and more, where it's just going to be videos, and more videos. Live streaming is where it's at right now, and I just feel like they're going to take it even to a greater lengths in years from now. As a generation, we are obsessed with new and visually stimulating ways of sharing our stories, and everyone has a story to tell. And I think that we're just going to go off into the next years when it comes to social media with stories. Thanks.